Hello again. My name is Ed Hubbard and I'm the Republican candidate for Place 3 on the First Court of Appeals in Houston, Texas. As the political rhetoric this season reaches a fever pitch, I want to explain why I'm running for this office as a Republican. The simple answer is because I am a Republican. As a Republican in a region where elected Republican officials dominate the political landscape, I believe we have assumed a special duty to the voters to provide for good government. In fact, I ran for this office against a well-known Republican incumbent because I believe that when the Republican Party started taking control of the courthouses in Texas 20 years ago, we assumed a special responsibility not just to win elections, but to put the right people into the judiciary. Staying true to this belief, I have run as a Republican to be a trusted judge, not a partisan voice on the bench. I have campaigned as a Republican that will apply the law as it's written and as it's intended. I won't create, confuse, ignore, or defy the law to help a certain group of people or to arrive at a certain predetermined policy preference. I will apply the law in an even-handed way so that we keep the courthouse doors open to our neighbors while balancing our interest for change with our interest for continued stability. In the end, I believe that true justice depends on the equal access of all citizens to the consistent rule of law administered in a stable legal environment. I believe my judicial principles are consistent with the larger conservative principles embraced by the Republican Party. In fact, back in 1960, Barry Goldwater described these principles when he wrote, "Conservatives take account of the whole man. The conservative believes that man is, in part, an economic and animal creature, but that he is also a spiritual creature with spiritual needs and spiritual desires. What is more, these needs and desires reflect the superior side of man's nature, and thus take precedence over his economic wants. Conservatism, therefore, looks upon the enhancement of man's spiritual nature as the primary concern of political philosophy." From its inception in England, the common law system adopted in Texas has been inherently conservative. It has required judges and juries to resolve disputes by applying customs, traditions, and rules originally derived from the Golden Rule. This law has evolved over the centuries through careful, narrow application to one case at a time, as if laying one brick at a time on a wall, rather than prefabricating the whole building all at once. As events require, using the same analogy, bricks turn corners without requiring whole walls to be torn down or a building to be redesigned. And in that way, significant change has been absorbed into our society without destroying it. As our experiences and conditions have changed, this system has not constrained change, it has stabilized it, allowing change to evolve in ways that have maintained the great and broad continuity of our society. And that stability is the inherent conservatism of the system. By writing down each decision and compiling them in reference books, the experience and wisdom of a civilization has been preserved to guide us through immense changes that have occurred over the last 500 years and to keep molding our society, our diverse society, into one society. This stability fostered by the conservatism of the common law is one of the primary reasons why the language of international law and commerce is English and why the international currency is still the dollar. I believe my judicial philosophy of restraint is both consistent with the nature of the common law but also with the principles that guide the Republican Party. This November, voters have a choice to make about the future of our courts. Judges affect us now, but they also will affect the law for generations. It is so important that we choose qualified, competent, and trusted individuals to sit on our courts and affect the future. That is why I'm running, and I hope to have your support. Thank you very much.